Okay, so we had a little bit of a power, some sort of issue there. So back to what the AI was going to do. As mentioned on its chassis card, it's going to be turning towards me and doing a short movement. So this is where it's going to get kind of close quarters here. I'm trying to be careful with this. All right, so the bases touch. And when bases touch, when an AI ship is involved in a collision with another ship, it is always positioned on the opposite side of the other ship's base in a straight line along the direction it was currently traveling. If the AI ship cannot be placed there, it could have fought off the board. Okay, so that's simple enough. Basically, I just kind of continue pushing it forward until it's no longer overlapping, which is about there. But now we both have to, now we roll for a collision, which isn't something we have not done yet in this game. Collisions, oh geez. Place your ship touching the base you overlapped in any position on any side of it. Do not rotate or change the facing. We did that. Resolve collision damage. Each ship rolls a number of dice equal to its size, plus any modifiers from parts. So we go back here. The size 4, both are size 4. So they're, I guess, both rolling 4 dice. Okay, so it's interesting because the enemy actually even has a does have this passive that when why am I so bad at getting this thing to focus when where I want it to? During a collision on or ram, reroll one of your dice that misses. So it is good at ramming other ships, basically. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to do the Interceptor's die collision attack against me first, so it's going to be able to re-roll one of the misses, and it hits on a 5 or higher. Is that how that works? Yeah, 4 dice on a 5 or higher. And it got a crit, a 4, a 4, and a 6. So at least 2. One of them is a crit, and then it's going to re-roll one of these misses. It's a 4, so it's thankfully only 2 hits, but one is a crit, which disables one of my parts, which isn't good. So I have this passive which says before a critical hit location on the ship is rolled, if you have no disabled parts, you choose which part is disabled. So normally it's actually a random assignment of which of my parts gets disabled, which of course isn't, could be kind of, especially with a weapon, you know, you want to have weapons, so if you lose your weapons, that's not good. I'm trying to think if I, and when you disable a part with power cubes on it, I think you get those power cubes back. Let me double check here. Page 11. Yeah, each power cube is returned to the defender's chassis card. Oh, okay. So heat cubes are bad because it does say each heat cube deals the ship 1 damage and is returned to the supply. Which makes sense. I love that. Okay, so since I get these blue cubes back to my supply, I think it's worth disabling my cockpit, which thematically, well, yeah, we'll just say thematically, it just means the pilot's not able to fully, he's got, his concentration's a little sidestepped here, so that means I have to flip it to its other side, and then now I can spend 2 cubes to repair it, and then I flip it back to its regular side. So it's not ideal, but that's the way it is. Okay, and then I have to actually take damage because I rolled... Yeah. So I'm taking 2 damage total from the collision. So now I'm down to 11. But I get to now strike back with my collision roll. Still rolling 4 dice, hitting on a 5 or more. Ooh, look at that. So a blank, a 3 and a 4, but a crit. Yikes. It's actually not that good. A crit against an AI, I have to check, just double check. Since AI ships don't use part cards, the AI deck includes a critical hit table to determine the effects of critical hits. For each critical hit, roll for the location and check the table on the back of the AI's deck to determine the effects of the roll. Okay. So the AI card has like this, basically this crit effect table that clarifies the unique, gosh, why won't this focus? There we go. A critical effect table that illustrates what happens depending on what I roll here, because they don't have parts that can get me disabled. So I rolled a 4, and when we consult the chart, a 4 through 6 means that, come on, let's focus here, 4 to 6. A 4 to 6 is a -1, and a additional damage. So, even though I only rolled 1 success, I'm actually able to knock down 2 damage from the interceptor, so it's down to 8. Okay. And then that blue cube, each -1 action token reduces the number of actions the AI ship performs the next time it activates. If an AI ship gains 1 during its activation, apply its effect immediately. So, that's cool. That means it's now one less action than it's normally would have on its turn. So that, the collision was kind of a wash for the both of us, I think. So now we continue with the rest of its turn. After all that drama. So the first action here, so it's normally 3, but because of that -1 token, it only is going to have 2. The first one is saying, I think if the target's at this range, no, it's not. So it's saying if the target's far away or in front of it, it's moving and increasing its evade. But I'm literally right next to it, so it's not going to do that. Next is if it has missiles. It doesn't, and otherwise it's going to do an attack. But as denoted here, this attack means I have to be in its front arc, and if we go to the current situation, I'm actually kind of on its back half, so it's not going to be able to do that. The next action then is this: if the target's close range, then it will do a short movement and ram the target. So can it ram me from that? Now I need to see if it can actually ram. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know what it. Because ramming implies it hits, it like runs into me. So I just need to double check that. My understanding is a ram just means it does actually have to physically run into me. And if it can't do that, then it doesn't do that. So the interesting thing is that the rules say that if a action results in the ship doing nothing, basically you don't do that action. Right as it is with this action, it does do something. I would be doing that movement. It's just that then I wouldn't be ramming because I wouldn't be colliding with the ship. I'm not colliding with, or the interceptor would not be colliding with me. So now I have to see if now I have to see if it might still move, and even if it moves, if it goes left, center, or right. Um, I think in the spirit of what this card's trying to do, which is ram me, and I'm not able. It's not going to be able to ram me. I do skip it, meaning I move into the next one, which is saying if I'm in its rear, which I am, it turns 2 to face me. So it's going to do that. Let's go to the main here. All right. So the first action is complete. It turned 2 to face me. And now because of that -1 token from my critical hit, it only will do one more action. And thankfully, it worked out in my favor where it's just going to increase its evasion by 2 and not actually end up ever attacking me. Because otherwise, let's just say it did have, let's say this token wasn't there, I would still do that evade 2 increase by 2, but then it goes back to the top. It wouldn't do this because I'm still now I'm in short range, so it's the conditions no not relevant. But it would be doing this attack, which it's not going to be able to do right now because of this token. So that's the end of the AI turn. The disabled effect of that collision really helped me out. It's now my turn. And this is going to be a very interesting turn. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it in my firing arc or not. Because my best card for that is my U-turn card, but that's got so many cubes on it right now. So let's just take care of the automated movement first, which is, or the chassis action. First, I go back down to 2 on my evasion. All right, now I can take away 5 total cubes. So I'll do cubes, auto cannon. That's 3. And then I'll get rid of 2 from my missile pod. I'd love to be able to use my missiles again. Maybe I should have done that different, honestly. Oh well, it is what it is. All right, so next, and then finally I do my impulse move, which is rotate up to 145 degree and then a long move. So I know I don't want to land. I don't really want to do a collision. Yeah, so I'm not going to have to worry about that. I might be able to make this work. Let's just see. So I'm going to take advantage of my 45 degree rotation and move. Oops. Let me get back here and move. All right, so now I entered that debris field. The debris field means I get to increase my evasion back up to 3. So I have 3 evasion again. Or I have, not again, but I have 3 evasion now. Which is nice. Okay, so I've taken care of my impulse move. I can't do a U-turn because my U-turn action is all bogged up for the time being. I could do a double. I'm wondering if I could do this single move and then this and then another turn. This single turn and then this, which is a shift in the single turn. No, I don't think that gets me around. Man, this kind of stinks. Because I really would like to be able to move forward now that I think about it. Which I can with these X25 wings, but these X25 wings are 2 blue and 1 heat cube. So that's a lot of cube just to be able to kind of... I mean, I want to... Ideally, I'd like to get on the other side of this debris field because it provides me a nice little defense bonus if the enemy ship is shooting across that. Right now, I'm very exposed. So, I alternatively can try to just spend a cube just for this move, or this evasion. But let's go ahead and do the wings, because why not? So that's a strafe and a rotation. So I'm going to strafe towards the back of the interceptor. That's a short. So if we go back here, so that's the strafe part. Now I have the option to also do a 45-degree turn, which I will also do. And I will do that here. All right. And now I have to decide if I want to bother using my maneuver fins to rotate 2 more times to the right. It's a lot of cubes. Gosh. I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend 2 cubes to rotate to the right twice. Yeah, that does put me right in... It's unfortunate because now I would have it in my front arc. But I don't have... So I have it in my front arc for my autocannon, but my autocannon's 2 blue cubes, and I only have 1 blue cube remaining to spend. So I will have to end my turn like that. Not great, but it is what it is. So now we go to the enemy's turn. We flip their AI card. They reset their evasion first back down to 3. Then they turn one 45-degree towards me and do a short move towards me. Oh, damn. Kind of getting out of my firing arc, but not per... Man, that would be close. I'm going to say I still would have that firing arc if it was ended like that. Oh. Okay. So, first action is if it has missiles going after it, it attacks, I think. I have to double check the iconography meaning for... So if there's missiles assigned to the ship, which there's not, I perform an attack, I think, but it can't anyway. Next is it will just attack if I was in a perfectly right in front of it, which I'm not with its lasers, so it doesn't do that either. So then if I'm in its back 180-degree arc, it would rotate 2 towards me. Which I am. So it will rotate twice towards me. So I did the first rotation here. It's not perfectly pointed at me yet, so we do a little more for that for the second one. Doesn't need to be full. Just right when it's straight at me. Okay, so that was the very first of its actions, actually. Now we go to this last one, long move and a evade boost. So, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty... I don't like what it's doing at all. It's coming right at me. In fact, it collides with me here. Oof. And the rules say with a collision, when it's the enemy, you just take their trajectory and put it on the other side of your ship. We'll say like that, I guess. Something that was more like that, maybe. Oh boy, okay. And then we have to do the whole collision thing again. So first it went through their... it went through a debris field, which bumps its evasion up to 4, and then it actually goes up again because the action also gives it an evade bonus. So now it's up to 5. All right, I'm gonna roll its dice first, and remember, it gets a roll, or gets a re-roll for its special ability on collisions. All right, so it's a blank. A 5's a hit, a crit, and 8's a hit. So at least 3 hits, and then it gets to re-roll this last one, which was a 1. So 3 hits. One of them is a crit, which means I disable another part, which now I can't use my ability, or I can't use my passive, because it says before a critical hit location on the ship is rolled, if you have no disabled parts, but I do. So now I roll a die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the part that gets disabled here. It's an 8. So if it's more than any of the numbers, the defending player chooses which part is disabled in the following. Okay, so I still end up choosing which part gets disabled. I guess I'm going to get rid of these wings, which does cause me a collateral damage because I'm getting rid of a heat cube. But I get 2 blue back. So then I'm taking a total of 3 plus 1. So 4 damage, which knocks me down to just 7. Oh. All right. And it's not done yet because I think that was only its second action. So now we go back to the top. Still won't do that. Won't do that. It's already done that. So I can't do it again. And it's already done that, so I can't do it again. So if there's an action left and that the AI hasn't used, if the AI has no critical damage tokens or heat cubes, the remaining actions have no effect and are ignored. Okay. So it just basically loses that. So now it goes back to me, and the setup I had for a laser attack is now kind of gone. So I have to first start with my impulse of my impulse movement, or impulse stuff, which is go back down to 2. And then I can take out 5 cubes. Oh, I have to flip this so that's disabled. Can take back 5 cubes. I guess I'll get rid of the heat cube on the pods and get rid of all of these. Oh no, I do want to be able to rotate a lot though. So I'm going to do these 2 blues and these 2 blues. Okay. So now we do the impulse movement, which is rotate if I want, and then long move. think I'm gonna do. I think I want to go here maybe. Alright, so then I'm going to rotate twice with my maneuvering fins as my first action. And I don't think I have... Yeah, it's not my front arc. Of course. So I can't use my autocannons, which I was hoping to use. And I can't have... I don't have any more rotation abilities, because that's got cubes on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and deploy my missile pods, because it is within... Whoa, wait, is it even too close for missile pods? Oh my god, it's too close for missile pods. I can't even do that. I can't do... God. Horrible at flying a ship. So, can't autocannon, can't do missile pods. And then I guess I just repair my cockpit. Or maybe I repair my X-Wings. Which I think I still have to leave 2 on them. Yeah, the cubes that you use to repair still have to get vented. So it's kind of it's like a 2-step, 2-turn thing really to repair a part. There's nothing else I can do except other than repair my cockpit, but then I'm down. Then I'm out 2 more power cubes, and I can only get so many back on a turn. I want to get 5 back on a turn specifically, so I don't know if I want to do that. Knowing it's not like a huge benefit anyway right now. So I'm going to go ahead and pause there for the night. So far, I'm really liking what I see in this game. The gameplay is really quick. I know I've paused a lot to look at the rules, but all the rules make a lot of sense, honestly. It's a game that's going to be able to stick with me once I just have to do each... There's just a lot of different things that can occur in the game, and once you go through those things like once, then it sticks, which I appreciate. Like, collisions make sense. Attacking makes sense. The missile defense makes sense. So once you do everything, it all makes sense. Like with any miniature game, you do a lot of fumbling. You know, it's unfortunately the nature of playing a miniature game. You're going to accidentally bump these minis. You know, these ships are really big, so of course they kind of bump into each other. There's not a lot you can do about it except, I guess, like literally not have it, just have the bases and not any ship on the base. Which I forgot about as an option too when moving the ships close to each other, that you can take the ship off the base. I forgot. I should have just done that. And then you pop it back on once you're out of range of the ship. I like terrain. It's seamless and it's not annoying. Sometimes terrain in these games I think can get overly complicated. I like how the terrain in this game makes a lot of sense. I like the evasion mechanic. I like the damage mechanics with how things get disabled. I think the AI cards flow super nice and are very intelligent. What the AI is doing seems like what a player should be doing. So, in fact, the AI, yeah, it probably ends up playing better than how a player would be doing, because when you're a player, you're kind of overthinking things, probably. Seems to be the case for me. Anyway, definitely look forward to continuing this and seeing what happens. It's a close game. I have 7 hull remaining. The Interceptor has 8. That last collision. Oh my gosh. I never rolled the collision dice against the Interceptor, so I gotta go ahead and do that. I rolled 4 against me, but I never rolled to see what happened to the Interceptor. So I'm rolling 4 dice for collision against the Interceptor. 5 or better. A crit and a 5. So at least 2 hits. And now we roll to see what the crit ends up becoming, which was a 2. A 2 I don't think is a big deal. It just gets a -1 action. So darn. We'll say it's a -1 action on this upcoming turn. You know what? We'll just pretend that we'll just knock down its health and put an asterisk next to the game. So it is down to 6 instead of 8. So I'm still leading the whole battle. That -1 action would have... Oh, it wouldn't have mattered. It only ended up using 2 actions. So actually that did work out. Only ended up using 2 actions because it couldn't do all 3. It didn't have 3, so we're fine there. Anyway, I'll be done for the night here, but thanks for those of you watching. Please like and subscribe to Talking Cardboard YouTube channel. And there's that QR code on the screen right now. If you scan that, you'll see the link tree for all of our other channels that we make content. And hope you enjoyed watching me play Snapshot Tactics. Definitely look the game up online if this looks cool to you, because it's based on a toy line that now has rules to make it into a game, which I think was a fantastic idea. So thanks guys for watching.